Imagine these. You reach into an old jacket pocket and find a $100 bill. You smile. It feels pretty good, right? A nice little bonus. Now, imagine this instead. You check your bank account and realize you lost $100 to some unexpected, frustrating charge. That feeling, the tightness in your chest, the frustration, maybe even anger, that pain is almost twice as strong as the joy you felt from finding that same amount of money. This isn't a sign of weakness. This is loss aversion, and your brain is hardwired for it. Loss aversion is one of the most powerful psychological biases we have. It's the hidden force that explains so many strange human behaviors. It's why investors panic sell their stocks at the worst possible moment. It's why people stay in unhappy jobs they know they should leave. And it's why we absolutely hate seeing prices go up way more than we enjoy getting a discount. Today, I'm going to show you exactly why your brain fears loss so much more than it loves gain, using real science and examples you'll recognize from your own life. So, where does this idea come from? It all started with behavioral economics, pioneered by two psychologists, Daniel Kahneman and Amos D. They developed something called prospect theory, and what they found was shocking. The pain of losing is psychologically about twice as powerful as the pleasure of gaining. Let me say that again. Losing $100 hurts twice as much as finding $100 feels good, and we can actually see this happening in the brain. When we experience a loss, brain scans light up in areas like the amygdala, which is our fear center, and the anterior insula, which processes pain and discomfort. Gains, on the other hand, activate our dopamine reward system, but the response is much less intense. It's a pleasant hum compared to the blaring alarm of a loss. But why? Why are our brains built this way? It all comes down to, for most of human history, survival was a daily struggle. Losing your resources meant real danger. Losing your food, your shelter, or your status within the tribe could literally mean death. So, evolution trained your brain with a very simple, very powerful rule. Avoid losses at all costs. A potential gain was nice, but a potential loss was catastrophic. That ancient survival software is still running in your modern brain, making you overly cautious about losing anything you already have. Let us see how this plays out with a real-life example that trips up so many people. Investing. Let's say you invest $1,000 into a stock. A few weeks later, it goes up to $1,100. You feel pretty good, smart even. Then, the market dips, and your stock drops back down to $1,000. You don't feel great, but mostly you just feel relief that you didn't lose anything. You're back to where you started. But then, it drops again, down to $900. Suddenly, panic sets in. Logically, you're only down $100 from your initial investment. But emotionally, it feels catastrophic. That's loss aversion kicking into high gear. It's why people hold on to losing stocks for way too long, hoping they bounce back. Because selling would mean making that loss real. They refuse to sell at a loss, and instead make emotional decisions driven by fear. Your brain doesn't treat a financial loss as just a number on a screen. It treats it as a genuine threat to your well-being. And once you start looking for it, you'll see loss aversion absolutely everywhere in your everyday life. Let's talk about shopping. A Signet size save $20 feels good. It's a nice little incentive. But imagine a situation where you feel like you're about to lose $20 if you do UN tech now. That feeling is far more urgent and unacceptable. Or think about jobs. So many people stay in toxic workplaces, with bad bosses, and soul-crushing work year after year. Why? Because the fear of losing a stable paycheck, benefits, and the routine they know feels much, much scarier than the potential happiness they might gain from finding a new, better job. Your brain whispers, better the pain I know than the risk I don't. This even extends to our relationships. We often stay in them longer than we should because we're afraid of losing what we already have: the history, the comfort, the shared memories even. If the relationship itself is hurting us, the fear of that loss can feel more powerful than the hope for future happiness. And you know who understands this better than anyone? Marketers. They are masters of using loss aversion against you. Have you ever noticed phrases like "don't miss out" or "last chance"? or that little notification that says only 2 left in stock. That is not an accident. They are intentionally triggering your brain's fear of loss. They know that humans are far more motivated to act, to avoid losing something than they are to gain something new. That's why fear-based messaging, the fear of missing out, or FOMO, is often so much more effective than reward-based messaging. It hijacks that ancient, powerful part of your brain. So, are we just slaves to this ancient brain wiring? Not at all. You can't completely remove loss aversion, it's part of being human. But you can absolutely outsmart it. First, learn to reframe your losses. Instead of seeing a loss as a personal failure, see it as data. It's just information that can help you make a better decision next time. Second, zoom out. When you feel the panic of a short-term loss, force yourself to look at the long-term trend. Is this a small dip in a larger upward journey? Gaining perspective calms the emotional brain. Third, pre-commit to your decisions. For example, in investing, decide your selling point asterisk before asterisk you buy the stock when you're calm and rational. That way, your emotions can't take over later. And finally, always ask yourself this one simple question. Would I be making this choice if emotion was uninvolved? Just being aware that loss aversion is affecting your judgment is often enough to weaken its hold on you. So, the next time losing $100, or anything else for that matter, feels completely unbearable, remember, it's not you. It's your brain doing exactly what it evolved to do, to keep your ancestors alive. It's a feature, not a bug, but one you need to manage. Now, I want to hear from you. Have you ever made a decision purely to avoid a loss, even when you knew it wasn't the most logical choice? Drop your story in the comments below. I'd love to read it. If this video helped you understand your own behavior a little better, please give it a like. Share it with that one friend who always says, I just hate losing money. And of course, subscribe for more psychology that explains why you feel the way you feel. Thanks for watching.